Is Las Vegas losing its luster? The once glittering jewel of the desert might be dimming faster than a busted slot machine. Brace yourselves, folks, because what I'm about to tell you might just shatter your illusions about Sin City. Let's talk tourism and economy, shall we? The numbers don't lie, and they're painting a pretty grim picture. Tourist arrivals have taken a nosedive, plummeting by a staggering 7 to 11%. June alone saw an 11% decrease, according to local tourism authorities. That's not just a blip on the radar, it's a full-blown crisis. But wait, it gets worse. The international crowd, they're ghosting Vegas like it's a bad Tinder date. We're talking about a jaw-dropping 13% drop in foreign visitors. Our neighbors to the north and south, Canada and Mexico, are giving Sin City the cold shoulder. And why? Well, you can thank those also brilliant immigration policies and tariffs for that. Nothing says welcome to America quite like a bureaucratic nightmare and extra fees, right? Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what this means for the city that never sleeps, or so they claim. Hotel room rate falling faster than a skydiver without a parachute. Revenue per available room. It's so low you'd think the rooms were being rented by the minute. And overall visitor spending, let's just say it's dropped so sharply, it could cut glass. But hey, maybe this is all part of Vegas's grand illusion, right? Wrong. This isn't some magic trick where the rabbit disappears and reappears. The rabbit's gone, folks, and it's taken the hat with it. Let's break it down further, shall we? The decline in visitors isn't just affecting the big casinos on the Strip. It's a domino effect that's toppling through the entire city. Those fancy restaurants with celebrity chefs, they're about as busy as a vegan butcher shop. The extravagant shows with acrobats, magicians, and pop stars, they're playing 2 more empty seats than a midnight screening of Ishtar. And let's not forget about the little guys. The street performers, the taxi drivers, the hotel staff, they're all feeling the pinch. When tourists aren't coming, tips aren't flowing, and suddenly, making rent becomes a bigger gamble than anything you'd find on the casino floor. But why is this happening? Is Vegas losing its charm? Has the allure of slot machines and all-you-can-eat buffets finally worn off? Or is there something more sinister at play? Some say it's the rise of online gambling. Why fly to Vegas when you can lose your life savings from the comfort of your own couch? Others point to the increasing competition from other gambling destinations, Macau, anyone. Or how about the Native American casinos popping up faster than you can say jackpot? Then there's the elephant in the room, or should I say, the elephant that's no longer in the room. The changing demographics of travelers, millennials and Gen Z, aren't exactly flocking to Vegas like their parents did. They're more interested in authentic experiences and Instagram-worthy moments than sitting in a smoky casino for hours on end. And let's not forget about the cost. Vegas used to be synonymous with cheap thrills and affordable luxury. Now it's about as budget-friendly as a shopping spree on Rodeo Drive. Resort fees, parking charges, $20 cocktails. It all adds up faster than you can say I'm broke. But perhaps the most damning factor is Vegas's inability to reinvent itself. For years, the city has relied on its reputation as an adult playground, a place where what happens there, stays there. But in an age of social media and instant sharing, that motto is about as relevant as a flip phone. The city has tried to diversify. Sure, they've brought in world-class dining, high-end shopping, and even a few family-friendly attractions. But it's like putting lipstick on a pig. At its core, Vegas is still Vegas, and that's becoming less and less appealing to a new generation of travelers. So, what's the solution? Some say Vegas needs to double down on what it does best: gambling, entertainment, and excess. Others argue it needs a complete overhaul, a transformation into something entirely new. But one thing's for sure, if Vegas doesn't figure it out soon, it might find itself going the way of Atlantic City. Now, I know what you're thinking. But what about all those new hotels and casinos being built? Surely that's a sign of growth. Oh, sweet summer child, those aren't signs of growth. They're desperate attempts to stay relevant. It's like adding more deck chairs to the Titanic. It might look nice, but it's not going to stop the ship from sinking. And let's talk about those famous Vegas weddings for a second. You know, the ones where you can get hitched by an Elvis impersonator faster than you can say Viva Las Vegas. Even those are on the decline. Turns out, people are realizing that maybe, just maybe, making a lifelong commitment while drunk off your face in a tacky chapel isn't the best idea. Who would have thought? But perhaps the most telling sign of Vegas's decline is the changing nature of its visitors. Once upon a time, Vegas was the destination for high rollers, for people looking to make it big or lose it all. Now, it's become a haven for bachelor parties and corporate retreats. Nothing says luxury destination quite like a bunch of middle managers in ill-fitting suits trying to expense their lap dances. Right, so, what's the future hold for Las Vegas? Will it rise from the ashes like a neon phoenix? Or will it become a cautionary tale, a modern-day ghost town in the desert? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the Vegas of tomorrow won't be the Vegas of yesterday. In the end, maybe Las Vegas is the perfect metaphor for the American dream itself. A glittering mirage in the desert, promising riches and excitement, but ultimately leaving most people broke and disillusioned. It's a city built on illusions, on the promise of something for nothing. And as we're seeing now, those illusions are starting to crumble. So, the next time you're thinking about booking that trip to Vegas, ask yourself, are you ready to gamble on a city that's gambling with its own future? Because let me tell you, the house always wins, until it doesn't. And right now, it looks like Vegas might be on a losing streak. Picture this, you're strolling down the Las Vegas Strip, expecting to be surrounded by a vibrant mix of international accents and faces. But something's off. The once bustling sidewalks seem eerily quiet, and the familiar chatter of foreign languages has faded to a whisper. What's going on in Sin City? Has the allure of America's playground suddenly lost its sparkle for global travelers? The shocking truth is that Las Vegas, once a magnet for international tourists, is experiencing a dramatic shift in its visitor demographics. Recent data reveals a startling decline in foreign visitors, with international tourism plummeting by as much as 13%. This isn't just a minor blip on the radar. It's a seismic change that's sending shockwaves through the city's economy and culture. But why are tourists from abroad suddenly giving Vegas the cold shoulder? The answer lies in a perfect storm of political and economic factors that have turned this desert oasis into a no-go zone for many international travelers. At the forefront of this exodus are visitors from Canada and Mexico, two countries that have historically been among the top sources of foreign tourists to Las Vegas. The root cause of this dramatic downturn can be traced back to recent changes in US immigration policies and the implementation of tariffs. These decisions, made far from the neon-lit streets of Vegas, have had far-reaching consequences that are now being felt acutely in the city's casinos, hotels, and entertainment venues. Let's break it down. The tightening of immigration policies has created an atmosphere of uncertainty and, in some cases, outright fear among potential visitors. Stories of increased scrutiny at border crossings and airports have spread like wildfire, deterring many would-be tourists from even considering a trip to the United States. For some, the prospect of a dream vacation has been overshadowed by concerns about being denied entry or facing uncomfortable questioning upon arrival. Moreover, the introduction of tariffs has had a ripple effect on the economies of both Canada and Mexico. As trade tensions escalate, the purchasing power of citizens in these countries has been affected, making a trip to Las Vegas seem like an unaffordable luxury for many. The once favorable exchange rates that made Vegas a bargain destination have shifted, turning what was once a cost-effective getaway into a pricey proposition. But it's not just about money and border crossings. There's also a matter of perception at play here. The political rhetoric surrounding immigration and international relations has created an image problem for the United States as a whole, and Las Vegas is feeling the brunt of it. For many potential visitors, the idea of spending their hard-earned vacation time and money in a country that seems increasingly unwelcoming to foreigners is simply unappealing. The impact of this decline in international tourism is far-reaching and multifaceted. Las Vegas has long prided itself on being a global destination, a melting pot of cultures where visitors from around the world come to experience the unique blend of entertainment, luxury, and excitement that only Vegas can offer. This international flavor has been a key part of the city's identity and appeal, both for foreign and domestic tourists alike. Now, with fewer international visitors, the very character of Las Vegas is changing. The city's famous buffets, once renowned for their diverse offerings catering to global tastes, are scaling back. High-end shops that relied heavily on foreign tourists are seeing their sales plummet. Even the entertainment landscape is shifting, with some shows that were particularly popular among international audiences struggling to fill seats. The economic implications are equally severe. International tourists, on average, tend to stay longer and spend more than their domestic counterparts. They're more likely to splurge on luxury accommodations, fine dining, and high-stakes gambling. With this lucrative segment of the market shrinking, many businesses in Las Vegas are feeling the pinch. Hotels are reporting lower occupancy rates, restaurants are seeing fewer reservations, and casinos are noticing a dip in high roller activity. This downturn isn't just affecting the big players on the strip, the ripple effect is being felt throughout the local economy. Small businesses that cater to tourists, from souvenir shops to tour operators, are struggling to stay afloat. Job losses in the hospitality sector are becoming a real concern, as hotels and casinos look to cut costs in response to declining revenues. But it's not all doom and gloom. Las Vegas has always been a city of reinvention, and stakeholders are already looking for ways to adapt to this new reality. Some are focusing on attracting more domestic tourists, highlighting Vegas as an accessible and exciting destination for Americans looking for a getaway close to home. Others are doubling down on efforts to diversify the city's economy, pushing for the development of industries beyond tourism and hospitality. There's also a growing movement to address the root causes of the decline in international tourism. Business leaders and local officials are lobbying for changes to immigration policies and a resolution to trade disputes, arguing that the current situation is not just hurting Las Vegas, but the entire US tourism industry. Meanwhile, marketing efforts are being retooled to reassure international visitors that they are still welcome in Las Vegas. Campaigns emphasizing the city's commitment to hospitality and diversity are being launched in key international markets, aiming to counter negative perceptions and reignite interest in Sin City. The question remains, can Las Vegas recapture its status as a top international destination? The road ahead is uncertain, but if there's one thing Vegas knows how to do, it's beat the odds. As the city grapples with this challenge, one thing is clear: the Las Vegas of tomorrow may look very different from the one we know today. For now, the once bustling international lounges at McCarran International Airport stand as a stark reminder of what's been lost. The slot machines that once chimed with the excitement of newly arrived tourists from around the globe now play to a smaller, more domestic audience. But in true Las Vegas fashion, the city isn't folding. It's simply waiting for the right moment to play its next hand in the high-stakes game of global tourism. What's up, guys? It's me here. So as we all know, Las Vegas has been struggling for a while now, and in my last video I talked about how the City of Lights is losing its shine due to overcrowding, long wait times, traffic congestion, and all the other cons that come along with a sold-out town. However, that isn't the only thing happening, because if you ask any local or anyone who has recently visited, they'll tell you something else is happening in Las Vegas. They say that the city is charging more while delivering less, which has left a lot of people angry. Many businesses suffering, and even more beginning to wonder, is Las Vegas losing its magic? Now, this all starts with a recent article published by the Las Vegas Review-Journal titled "Why Are We Paying So Much for So Little?", where they interviewed dozens of locals and tourists alike to find out what the biggest complaints were in Las Vegas today. And it turns out most people are pretty upset. They explain that from food to shows to everyday items, Las Vegas prices have gone up across the board and the overall value has gone down. And honestly, it makes sense. As a business owner myself, I'm doing everything I can to keep profit margins high with low inventory, rising costs, limited staff, and increased demand. That means higher prices. But at the same time, the quality of some things are also going down. This includes customer service, the products themselves, and even the experiences. For example, one woman said she was charged $27 for a breakfast burrito at In-N-Out. Meanwhile, a man sitting behind her ordered a cheeseburger and fries for just $16. She thought, what am I getting that he's not? I didn't get a burger. I got a burrito, of course. Another person said they'd stop going to places like Circus because it seemed run down, while someone else said, I've noticed there's an uptick in rudeness among workers. Maybe it's the pay, maybe it's the lack of consequences for bad behavior. Either way, it's much more present than it used to be. Someone else mentioned that the steakhouse at the Orleans used to cost $34 for a 12-ounce steak. Now it's $58 for a 9-ounce steak. A visitor from California also said, I love the Bellagio fountains, but they don't do as good a job as the Bellagio fountains of water pressure and choreography, and tickets are like double or triple the price. Even the Review-Journal editorial board agreed, saying, we're hearing from readers about restaurants serving mediocre food at exorbitant prices, about housekeepers who go without pay raises while hotel rates hit record highs, about the long waits to ride an elevator, but then it doesn't go to your floor anyway, about roads and freeways that are under construction, creating daily havoc for commuters, about airport lines so long that travelers miss their flights. Of course, this concern also applies to myself and everyone I talk to. For example, One of my team members flew into Las Vegas to work on a project and said his flight was delayed multiple times before being cancelled altogether. He was rebooked on a different airline for a different day and had to stay in a hotel with no reimbursement whatsoever. Meanwhile, another friend of mine went to a restaurant and waited 2 hours to get a table. When they finally sat down, the waiter took their order, but then never came back. After another 30 minutes of waiting, they got up and left. That's just how it is right now in Las Vegas. Things are sold out. There's a limited amount of staff and everyone is trying to make as much money as possible. That's why it seems like the main priority of every business is to simply turn over tables as fast as possible instead of providing good service. The price of eggs is $6, so imagine how expensive it is to serve a customer a full meal. Add in long wait times and you begin to understand why prices are so high. In fact, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the median price of a hamburger in Clark County has jumped from $10.99 in 2019 to $15.99 today. Not to mention the pandemic saw a sharp decline in the number of restaurants throughout the entire country. That means there's less competition, less options and more expensive prices. But hey, at least the locals aren't complaining, right? Just kidding. Locals are complaining too. However, despite all of these problems, I wouldn't say that Las Vegas is losing its magic entirely. Instead, I think it's evolving. Now, sure, there are fewer buffets, more crowds, and everything costs twice as much as it did 3 years ago. But that's not to say there's nothing good happening. There are still plenty of exciting changes and developments throughout the city that have me optimistic for the future. For example, the creative dining scene continues to bring new life to Las Vegas. Recently, we got Bottled Blonde, which is a lively Polynesian-inspired bar and restaurant with 360-degree views of the Strip. Then there's Underdog Beer Hall, which offers more than 100 beers on tap and nearly 400 bottled selections from around the world. In addition to that, Chica, a popular Miami-based restaurant, will be coming to the Venetian in 2023, and Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen will be opening its doors at the Caesars Palace in fall 2023. Not to mention exciting changes are also coming to the Vegas Strip. Like, did you know, Resorts World is building a Ferris wheel that will tower above the Strip? It'll offer 360-degree views of Las Vegas. Plus, Resorts World says it'll become the tallest freestanding observation wheel in the United States once completed. And look, I understand why so many people are complaining about Las Vegas right now. You're absolutely right. It is more crowded, it is more expensive, and it's also not the same as it was when you visited 10 years ago. But the truth is, things change, times change, and this is just the current state of Las Vegas. Personally, I see a lot of potential for the future. Yes, it's more expensive, but that also means there's a bigger opportunity for those who can stand out. Take Dave & Buster's, for example. If you've never been, it's a restaurant, arcade and bar all in one. It's fun, affordable, and a great time. Compare that to the other restaurants on the Strip, and it's no wonder why Dave & Buster's has become one of the most popular destinations in Las Vegas. But it's not all doom and gloom either. The reality is, yes, things cost more. Yes, there are more crowds, but there are also more jobs, more opportunities, and more excitement. That's why I see so many young entrepreneurs moving to Las Vegas right now. They see the challenges that exist, but they also see the opportunity. Now, take this however you want, but I'm personally a fan of progress. Sure, change is difficult and not everyone's going to adapt well to it, but in the big picture, I think it makes Las Vegas a better place to live and visit. I mean, look at me, I'm proof. So with that said, let me know your thoughts about this down below. What are your thoughts on Las Vegas today? Have you noticed the changes? Have you felt like the value has decreased? And are you still excited about Las Vegas, or have you decided to spend your money elsewhere? Let me know your thoughts down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my podcast. We cover similar topics there and it would be awesome to have you join the conversation. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time.